The office was found by George Nicholson before he left at Osu, Nyaniba Estates. So I got into the office, got my wife's nephew with me, who came to help me clean up the place that first day. So that was the beginning of World Vision. We didn't have any vehicle to start with, but I had a truck which we used to cut things to the projects if there was anything available to be sent to projects.
Programs were community development based, smaller communities that were scattered all over the country. And because they were small communities, there wasn't any much of relationship with other communities around, and therefore you could not achieve the critical mass which currently we are achieving through our area programs.
In 1983, the then director of World Vision, the late Reverend Dr. Philemon Quay, sent Mr. Chris Bonwedi, who was the first staff of World Vision, to ask whether I could come and join World Vision and start a health program, because it was at the time that Ghana was going through a very difficult period.
There was the drought in the 85 to 90, and so the USAID responded the Ethiopia crisis, the Kenya crisis, the Ghana crisis in terms of drought, and responded by funding organizations to be able to respond to the critical water need. When that grant ended, which is normal with every grant, that was a critical defining moment where World Vision had reviewed this community development program, realized that the scatteredness of our program wasn't maximizing the impact. And so you couldn't address the issue of guinea worm without focusing on a greater area. And that is those defining moments is when the Hilton Foundation stepped in 1990.
There have been times when the identity of World Vision has been in question. People, years back, people thought that it was associated with the CIA because they didn't understand exactly how we got our funding and the fact that we continued to sustain our operations in a very focused manner.
I remember at one management meeting, our dear Commodore Quay, just could not help it. He just broke down in tears. And that, what we were trying to do to support the poor and needy in Ghana could be misconstrued as, working for the CIA. And on the side, we were saying, okay, yes, we are CIA. We are Christians in action.
Over the 40 years, we have developed a credibility that is almost without equal.
World Vision is a very strict organization, and when it comes to due diligence and sticking to standards, they do not compromise.
World Vision has got one of the very best governance practices that you can find anywhere in the world.
Because of the reporting procedures and the audits that are done periodically, you are sure that the resources that have to be made available to these children is actually getting to them.
We identified ourselves with government projects and worked in collaboration with the government structures, and also involving the communities and other NGOs operating in that area.
We are involved in the work, and so we understand the context, and we're able to bring about programs that are really impactful to wherever we work, to the extent that we are able to really reach the very poor, because World Vision goes to the remotest part of the country.
And the people who are involved in fulfilling or achieving World Vision's objectives are people who are born again Christians, and I see it as a call, and so everybody is committed to achieving the core values, the purposes for which World Vision has been set up.
There are some staff that actually lose their life in service of the needy and the poor.
I joined World Vision, I joked with people, I said, I didn't even know it was a Christian organization. I just was looking for a job. And then I entered this wonderful organization, had a mission to respond to the call of God in the lives of the poor.
When people are being engaged for World Vision, one thing that we try to communicate quite silently is that you are coming in like a missionary. So the salaries may not be at the market level, but your reward internally and emotionally is greater when you see what is being done for the deprived and the marginalized.
The founder, Bob Pierce, was clear that this is God's work that we are supporting.
His prayer was that, God, let my heart be broken by the things that break your heart. So I'm saying that there are things that still break the heart of God.
There are people there we need to touch. And my prayer and desire is that we never give up.
The entire Christian life is centered around showing love. And what we are doing as World Vision is to demonstrate this love.
That is what World Vision Ghana is all about, living out Christ.
As an organization, its biggest achievement is the fact that it's been able to stay focused on its mission and remain in operation over the past 40 years with an impeccable performance record.
I don't see World Vision mounting platforms and preaching the gospel, but in touching lives, I see World Vision reaching out with the love of Christ.
They gave me the opportunity to do my service through the district that they are working with. And of course, another opportunity to work with them for almost 5 years. So World Vision, I always say that even if there's no story to write, I'm one of the living testimonies for World Vision.
Truly, we are grateful to the many sponsors and donors of World Vision. There are some sponsors who have made a commitment to diligently continue to contribute to the work of World Vision through their finances.
World Vision's vision is not static and not cut in stone. It is a growing, vision, and it's a vision that is very dynamic and very sensitive to the needs of people at a particular point in time. So we are always contemporary. So World Vision is going to be here until Jesus Christ comes.
It should be the children, the communities, or even the government celebrating the presence of World Vision in this country for what it has done in the last 40 years. This is just a stepping stone to launch us into the future, because there are still needs out there in children who are desperate, okay? We need to join hands and work alongside the government and other actors to bring about this transformation and bring about this well-being of children, bring about this change in the lives of children.